With the 8th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Colin Sexton from the University of Alabama.
Alabama point guard Colin Sexton goes in the top 10 to the Cavaliers. Why Avery Johnson says this means the tide is turning for Bama basketball. Plus, a major commitment from Central quarterback Peter Parrish. We talked to him in the studio about why he chose the LSU Tigers and what he hopes to accomplish his senior year with the Red Devils. It's all on The Last Call, and it starts right now. Welcome back to The Last Call. I'm your host, Justin Holbrook. It's the summer, so you may be thinking, well, there's not much time till football, and you're right. Let me help you get a quick fix, starting with a major commitment. Let's run it back the week that was. You can add quarterback Peter Parrish to the list of high school quarterbacks that we'll be seeing on Saturdays in the SEC. This week, the senior quarterback committed to the Tigers. Sorry, Auburn, not you, the LSU Tigers. Parrish got the offer Friday morning after attending LSU's elite camp. He's a 4-star rated dual-threat quarterback by most recruiting services and had offers from all the powerhouses on the East Coast, plus Florida and Mississippi State. As a junior, he threw for more than 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns, also ran for 700 yards and 14 tutties. We got a chance to talk with him today in the studio. And joining me now is the man himself, Peter Parrish. Peter, you're a senior at Central, but the big news this week, you committed to LSU. First off, just what has this week been like for yourself?
It's been a crazy week. You know, it's been a real burden off my back, you know, that I've been able to get off. And, you know, it's been a lot of pressure that's been off me. And, you know, it's been a big decision for me, a life-changing decision. But, you know, like I said, it's just a good decision. It's been a great week, though.
Like you said, life-changing. You had plenty of places where you could have gone with your life. For football, you had Florida, Mississippi State, and a handful of others. Why LSU? Why the Tigers?
I mean, you know, when the moment I stepped on campus, it was just a great feeling that I had. You know, like I said, it's just you know, something in my heart just told me that, hey, this is cool for me, and you know, I ended up making that decision. So I feel like, you know, it's the place to go.
What was it like, you know, the camp on Thursday? Because obviously you had the camp on Thursday, and then the very next day in the morning, you decided LSU. What was it about either the camp or the coaches or the entire process that attracted you to LSU?
Really, the entire process. You know, Coach Orgren, you know, he was on my back the whole time I was there, and you know, he stayed with me. Coach Robinson, also, he's a great recruiting coach. He's my recruiting coach for the area, and you know, both of those guys, they've been on me the whole time, and you know, they've been staying in touch with me the whole time, so it was really the whole entire process from the moment I got there.
So obviously you still have 1 year left at Central. How do you kind of, you know, split that where you're obviously committed to your future, but you also want to stay in the moment and help Central to possibly win a state title? What are you looking forward to, and how do you kind of balance that?
Well, you know, like I said, since I got this pressure off my back, you know, I can definitely focus on getting to the state championship with my teammates. You know, definitely all in with my high school right now. You know, like I said, working hard, getting that state championship. So.
What's it like to be a senior? You know, obviously this is your last go around at it.
Yeah, it's been a long ride. You know, a lot of ups and downs, but hey, it's been a great ride. It's been great.
Your name now joins the list of many. Justin Ross. We just had Ray Thornton. You know, he committed to Clemson. Now you're going to LSU. What does this say about Central's football team with all of these guys going to huge D1 schools?
I mean, first off, we got to thank the coaching staff. I mean, we have a tremendous coaching staff. They teach us everything that we know. But you know, Central, it's been a great program from like years back, you know, and it's really nothing I can say about that. It's just, you know, the coaching staff, they teach us everything that we know. So
everyone talks about SEC football. It's king in the South. It means more. You know, that's the slogan for it, obviously. Yeah. So what does it mean to play in the SEC, to be committed to a school in that?
It's definitely where I wanted to go. I definitely want to go to the SEC. You know, I mean, it's just a great feeling, you know, knowing that I'm going to a dream school like LSU, you know, and definitely standing in the South. That's kind of what I wanted to do, so it's a great feeling.
So the biggest question is, can you do an Ed Orgeron impression yet? Have you heard, what was it like to hear him talking? Can you do the impression? Because I've been working on mine. I think I've got a pretty good one.
Yeah,
I want to hear if you have one.
It's kind of hard to do it. I don't think anybody can do it except for him, to be honest. I don't even think I can do it, to be honest. I mean, hey, you want to give it a try?
Yeah, it's good to have you here on the program, Peter.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Looking forward to hold that tiger.
That's exactly how it sounds. I'm not even gonna lie. That's exactly how it sounds.
Did you chuckle when you heard it for the first time, or what was it like when you heard him talk?
It was kind of surreal experience because, like, you know, I've seen him on TV and heard him on TV, but hearing him on person, it was just like it's exactly how he sounds on TV. So it was great. It was great.
Well, you'll be hearing a lot more of that. And Peter, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Best of luck to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks to Peter for stopping by. Georgia also picking up a solid commitment from 4-star offensive tackle Xavier Truss. Truss is rated the #1 offensive tackle in Rhode Island and 15th best in the entire country. He took an unofficial visit to Athens on Saturday and made his commitment the very next day. He chose the Bulldogs over the likes of Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson, just to name a few. Alabama is a football school. That's no secret. But this week, Colin Sexton made headlines for the basketball program. On Thursday, the Crimson Tide point guard was taken by the Cleveland Cavaliers as the #8 overall pick in the NBA draft. Sexton is the first Alabama player taken in the draft in 10 years. He's also the first rounder since 2001 for the Tide. He might have the chance to play with LeBron James, pending James's free agency. Either way, he and his former coach Avery Johnson agree this moment changes the perception of the Crimson Tide program.
Honestly, going in, Coach Avery, he was a coach in the NBA as well. He played in the NBA. He was a big part of it. But honestly, I wanted to go somewhere and make a name for myself. I wanted to go somewhere and establish a winning culture because everybody knows about the football team. So I wanted to change the culture and make it both basketball as well as football.
Colin's not the last guy that's going to be drafted in the first round for the University of Alabama, but he's, again, has knocked that door down, given Alabama a big lift, a huge lift, and catapulted us into the spotlight of not only a team that can make it to the NCAA tournament, but now a program that can send players to the NBA and get drafted in the first round and hopefully have long careers.
The tide is turning. Also, Georgia Bulldog and SEC Player of the Year Yante Maton was not selected in the draft. He was picked up by the Miami Heat to play on their summer league team. We'll keep track of him. Draft night was a busy one for the Atlanta Hawks. They had 4 picks in the top 34, and it was an unexpected start when they made the 3rd overall pick. Slovenian guard Luka Doncic was selected by Atlanta at #3. They did so for the Dallas Mavericks, who picked Oklahoma's Trae Young at #5. As part of the deal, Dallas is also sending a lottery-protected first-round pick in 2019 to Atlanta, so Trae Young will be a Hawk and Doncic will not. Easy enough. Young led the nation with more than 27 points and nearly 9 assists per game. The Hawks' decision to acquire Young likely means veteran point guard Dennis Schroeder's future with the team could be short-lived. Here's Young on coming to the ATL.
There's a lot of emotions running through my head right now. I don't even know what to think. I mean, I'm truly blessed to be in this situation. I really can't wait to get out to Atlanta and start getting to work right away. Can't wait to meet my new teammates and the new fans and everything. So I'm just blessed to be in this situation.
Here's a look at all of the Hawks picks. Again, Trae Young at #5. Kevin Huerter, a shooting guard from Maryland, goes 19, and power forward Omari Spellman goes at #30. The Hawks also had the 34th pick. They took Devontae Graham from Kansas and immediately traded him to Charlotte for 2 future second-round picks in 2019 and 2023.
Butch and I we've been having conversations really since, my arrival on campus and the start of the season. Like I've said before, Butch is a tremendous man, great leader, great coach. He and I have talked about kind of the long-term plans for him being here. I know he loves his players, and I think that we're in a position where this is a good spot for him to be. So we'll continue to have those conversations until we get some stuff finalized.
On Tuesday, we talked with Auburn Athletic Director Alan Green at an Auburn alumni event up the road in Noonan. You just heard from him. He told us he was working on a new deal for Butch Thompson, and 2 days later, that deal got done. Green announced the school has signed a new 6-year contract extension with Thompson that will keep him on the Plains through the 2024 season. Reportedly, also a nice pay raise. Thompson led Auburn to back-to-back NCAA regionals for the first time since 2003 and their first super regional win in school history. Still to come on the last call, the Braves gained a 3.5-game lead in first place after dominating pitching last week, but teams in the NL East are closing the gap. Could Atlanta stay ahead of the Phils and Nats? I'll tell you. And 1 week after head coach Nick Richardson announced his decision to leave the Opelika baseball team, the Bulldogs have found his replacement. Everything you need to know about Zach Blatt after the break. To the Braves, this was a week for the Birds, literally and figuratively. Atlanta split 2 with the Blue Jays and then came back for a home series with the Orioles, who are tied for being the worst team in all of baseball with only 23 wins and 53 losses. But that hasn't meant anything for them against the first-place Braves this weekend. Atlanta gave up 10 runs on Friday and 7 on Saturday, hoping to avoid the sweep. Freddie Freeman leads all NL All-Stars in votes, shows why here. It's a 2-run double, and he puts Atlanta up 2-0. Orioles get one, and then the Braves get it right back. Nick Markakis leads the voting for right fielders, and that's exactly where that ball goes in right field, almost a home run. Ozzie Albies comes home to score, and Atlanta goes up 3-1. Charlie Culberson gets into the action, the 3rd inning. It's a gapper to right center. 2 more come in to score. He had 6 RBIs in 7 games, so now he has 8 in 8 games. Pretty good. And Dansby Swanson is going to seal the deal for the Braves. First pinch hit home run of his career. The Braves win 7-3, so after giving up 10 runs on Friday and 7 the next day, they hold the Orioles to 3 and score 7. They have a next series with my Cincinnati Reds, who have won 9 of their last 11. The Opelika Bulldogs didn't have to go far to find their new head baseball coach. The school announcing former assistant coach Zach Blatt will take over the program. Blatt replaces Nick Richardson, who left last week to take a job at Tuscaloosa County to be closer to home. Blatt graduated from Opelika in 2008 and has been a Bulldog assistant since 2013. He also played 4 years at Auburn. Opelika made the playoffs in both seasons under Coach Richardson. The Columbus Lions have lost all 3 of their games this year on the road, and on the final play, they've lost all of those 2. They pulled off a last-second win, though. See how they got it done against Carolina on the road last night. The Columbus Lions have lost all 3 of their games this year on the road. Not only that, but all of those losses came on the very last play of the game. Lions trying to make sure that doesn't happen again this week, taking on first-place Carolina on Saturday. And it was a great start. Quavon Hicks hurdles the defender, and just like that in the second quarter, the Lions are up 20-0, but Carolina comes back. Charles McCollum drops back and finds Tyron Laughinghouse, a great name, 27-21 at the half. Then we fast forward to the fourth quarter. Lions up by 9. McCollum is going to find Philip Barnett, who makes a one-handed snag. Incredible catch. Cobras only down 2. Columbus has an answer, though, and once again, it's that man. Quavon Hicks gets the power sweep to the left. Extra point is no good, so the Lions only up by 8. Carolina marches down the field. McCollum to Laughinghouse. The Cobras only need a 2-point conversion to tie the game. The game hasn't been tied since 0-0, and it won't be. Just past the outstretched arm of Laughinghouse, and Mason Espinoza is going to take a knee to seal the win. The Lions are now 6-3, picked up a much-needed road victory. In the summer, most 12-year-olds are having fun away from school, going to the pool or playing video games, but not Austin Terrell. The Columbus native is getting ready for the trip of a lifetime to play the sport he loves in a place he's never been to before. Training for a hockey tournament halfway across the world can be exhausting, but it's also worth it to Austin Terrell.
It'll be fun to inspire kids.
Just a kid himself, at 12 years old, Austin is already planning for a career in hockey, a sport he started playing at 3 years old. The next step for him is a trip to Europe, which came after he was selected to play for the CCM Selects USA team in Slovenia this summer.
Hockey's all over the world. It's not just in like one, like football is kind of in the USA. Hockey's like soccer, it's all over the place.
To get ready for the tournament and the level of competition he'll face, Austin started training with former Columbus Cottonmouths player and assistant coach Oren Hergott.
Explode to that net. Okay. It's not very often you see a kid of his age, that committed. He's out on the ice working hard, trying to get better and better every time.
Committed to a sport less popular than the likes of football, basketball, and baseball in the South. Kids like Austin no longer have a local team to watch and learn from after the Cottonmouths left 2 years ago.
Now it's kind of sad. When I was 3, I used to just, like we had like a whole row, and I just go along and pass everybody and watch for the puck go. Now we don't have hockey here in the South as much as we used to.
Austin played with the Cottonmouths youth team from the ages of 6 to 9. But in order to play in a more competitive league, he had to look outside of Columbus. He's getting ready to play his 3rd season in Atlanta with a team traveling all across the country.
His parents are shipping him all over the place, all over the country to get him to camps and playing on travel teams and stuff like that. So true testament to them. So just a huge huge accomplishment for him, and I hope he does well.
Austin's parents will be joining him on his next trip, a more than 10-hour flight to show the world what a hockey kid from Columbus can do. Best of luck to Austin. That tournament goes from July 27th until August 5th. Coming up on the last call, myself and our so-called experts make our picks of the week. And for the first time in weeks, we were all in the same place to make them. Look at this. We're all here for picks of the week. And Jack dressed up for it.
I completely and totally dressed up for it. Connor sprung this on me on a Monday, so I do not have any of my News 3 apparel. I'm sorry, the powers that be.
He's just excited for the NBA draft.
Yeah, he's getting ready.
Sure. Let's go with that.
All right, speaking of NBA, we're going to go to the WNBA. We've never done this before. Connor, who are you taking in that?
I got the LA Sparks over the Seattle Storm with no expertise at all.
Stop copying off my picks.
These guys talk about it too much.
Oh, you copied
I have the LA Sparks over the Seattle Storm.
All right, Brandon, who you got?
I'm going with the Las Vegas Aces over Dallas. Vegas needs a win. Been a tough sports year. Not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it has. I've got a Fever, and I think that the Connecticut Sun are going to beat the Indiana Fever. We're also doing the College Baseball World Series. It's Monday, so it's early. We don't know what teams are going to be out and what teams are still in. So we're talking about it on a Monday. Brendan, who are you taking?
I'm taking North Carolina Tar Heels, already in the winner's bracket, looking pretty good, so that's where I'm rolling.
Y'all all going to detention for copying off my picks.
There's only so many teams.
Yeah, I had Carolina too, but I'm going to change it because I don't want to follow everybody else. So I'm taking Texas Tech. They beat Florida, the defending national champion, so why not?
Well, I'm going to give our weather meteorologist over here a little shout out. Mississippi State Bulldogs in the winners bracket.
Almost picked
Cody's alma mater, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we have our personal pick. So, Jack, I'll let you start.
I know none of you have this. IndyCar Series, Grand Prix of Wisconsin and Road America. One of Team Piskey's drivers to win. That's Will Power, Simon Pagenaud, and Joseph Newgarden.
That's exactly what. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say.
Collusion.
Yeah, I'm going soccer picks. I'm going with the Group D games, all on my birthday, June 26th.
Hey.
Iceland to get a draw or a win over Croatia, and Argentina to finish off with a win over Nigeria.
Thunderclap. I did that last week.
Yeah.
All right, for my personal pick, I'm going to Singapore. The UFC has their fight coming up this Saturday, so we're picking it on a Monday. I am taking Leon Edwards. He's won 7 of his last 8 to beat Donald Cerrone. All right, Connor.
Jack, I'm also doing racing, but I'm going to pick one driver, not the easy cop-out. Chase Elliott to win at Chicago.
You got called out.
First one ever.
I'm not like you because you've lost all but one, okay?
Didn't last for a reason.
I'm actually trying to compete. Thank you very much.
Brendan and I are above sports trash talking. We're just not
keep
there
it
yet.
neutral.
Yeah. We just
You guys, we need a camera in the sports office so we can debunk that theory.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
That's picks of the week, guys.
That's my line. And we're also not very good at baseball picks. Auburn golfer and South African native Jovan Rubula won the 123rd British Amateur Championship at the Royal Aberdeen Golf Club on Saturday. The win means Rubula has earned an exemption into the 2018 British Open, 2019 Masters, and 2019 U.S. Open. Not bad. The rising junior is the first South African to win the British Amateur since Bobby Cole all the way back in 1966. And it's a good day to be a Bulldog, too. Georgia alum Bubba Watson won the Travelers Championship a couple hours ago, coming from 6th back, entering the final round. He shot a remarkable 63 today, finishing 17 under to win this tournament for the 3rd time in his career. Big day for him. For the 3rd year in a row, the Columbus State Cougars host a girls basketball camp for local athletes. The camp is a mix between teaching fundamentals, having fun with dance-offs and games against the coaches, as well as bringing in speakers who live and work in the community. Anita Howard took over as head coach 2 years ago and won the award for Peach Belt Conference Coach of the Year in her very first season.
You know, I believe this is a time where you actually get better, you know, not just for our college girls that are returning, but for the youth that's coming up. It's growing the game. And so this is one of our ways that we kind of help grow the women's game, get the fundamentals down, have a little fun, and also showcase Columbus State University. It's great to just give back. You know, I love giving back. I love working with the youth. And I love the young ladies playing basketball, to see them go from where they should be to where they will be.
Love that. The women's program has made the NCAA Division II tournament 2 years in a row under Coach Howard. Coming up on the last call, the baseball gods award one Cincinnati Reds player after he gives a young fan the memory of a lifetime, but then that same fan pays it forward. It's last on the last call. Okay, Okay, I'm going to admit up front, I'm a little biased for the video you have to see this week. Check this out. Right fielder Jesse Winker makes a catch, gives the ball to a young fan and a high five. That's pretty cool by itself. But then the baseball gods award him later in the game. He crushes his first career grand slam, but we're still not done. It's going to get even better. The next inning, a foul ball goes to the dad of that same kid, but instead of keeping the ball to have himself two, he turns around and gives it to another fan just out of the good of his heart, gets a handshake, a pat on the head. Good karma for him and the Reds, who have now won 9 of their last 11. This is the only time I get to talk about my Reds because they're probably not going to be good the rest of the year. Thanks so much for watching The Last Call. We're on every Sunday night at 11:30 Eastern. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at WRBL Sports. The James Brown Show is next. We'll see you next Sunday.